Yeah, this game is not a good starting point, so you kind of have to play like 12 other games to kind of get all the story. Otherwise, you kind of just go into this not knowing who anybody is. I just guessed, but yeah, it's probably somewhere around there. There's 9 mainline games and then 2 spin-offs. 2 more spin-off games, which are unconnected to this. They're like what-if scenarios. The PSP game, there's like literally 15, 20 Yakuza games. I hated how Sega was like, guys, you could totally start with Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. I'm like, no the fuck you can't. That's a horrible starting point. If you're going to play Yakuza or Like a Dragon, my suggestion, there's a couple different starting points. You have option A, which is you play from the very beginning, which is probably not very viable for everybody. So you'd play Yakuza 1 on the PS2, and then 2, and go all the way up in release order, which is fine. Option 2, starting from 0, so you go in story order. And I think starting from 0 isn't awful. 0, I think, does a pretty good job at setting things up for someone who never played the series. And then going to Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and so on. You keep going from there. The reason I think you can't start from Kiwami 1 is because that game pulls a lot of things from Yakuza 0. So you're going to be really confused playing Yakuza Kiwami 1, which is a remake of the first game. Those people are stupid because they think, because obviously Yakuza 3 is an older game than Kiwami 2, so it's going to look older and play worse, but whatever. And then there's option 3, which would be starting from 7, because I think 7 does a decently good job as well, because you're not playing as Kiryu, you're playing as Ichiban. It's a good starting point because it doesn't really pull that much from the previous games, while also pulling enough for people who did play those to get some appreciation out of it. So you'd play 7, and then I'd say you'd have to go back and play the Kiryu Saga and come back, which is just kind of weird. Like, it works, but I would just suggest just play them in release order or start with 0. The later games, especially Gaiden and Infinite Wealth, those games completely lose so much sauce and meaning if you play those before any of those. Because it's just, you like the Kiryu stuff and the story, you lose completely everything. You cannot start with any of these later games, honestly. I think 7, if you play 7 first and go back, you might as well just start from 0 or 1. Like I said, I think 0 does a pretty good job. I mean, obviously the gameplay is gonna be a lot better from 0 to like 1 and Yakuza Kiwami 1, 2, and then 3. It's gonna be kind of jarring. But you have to realize some people, like casual people, aren't going to want to play those PS2 games, which I don't know why. Honestly, RGG should just re-release them. That PS3 pack they released on PS3 and Wii U, they should localize that, re-release it for PC and modern systems. I think it'd be a great idea. They are different, and they, in my opinion, I like them both better, especially Yakuza 2. I think 2 is so much better than Kiwami 2. Not saying Kiwami 2 is bad, but there's a lot I like more about 2. But yes, this will be a highlight or something on my YouTube because this is a big topic that I'm like, guys, you have to play these games in the order they came out. Just don't start with these later games. 7 is a fantastic game, and you could start with it, but at this point, if you're going to play the other ones, you might as well go back. Because if you're going to play 7, you're going to want to play 8, and 8's going to rely on you playing Gaiden and the previous 6 Kiryu games, so just start from the beginning. But yeah, that's my take. Play the series in release order for the best experience. If you're a big baby and don't want to play a PS2 game, play the series starting with 0 and go from there. Which is still a fine option. No hate to anyone that wants to play 0 first. I think that still works great. That's what I did. I went back and played Yakuza 1 and 2 after finishing, I think, 7.